There are tons of informative discussions with former Judge Corley Chun-Matayoshi, all available on KHON2.com.
Today we talked to her about the latest podcast and 2 hot topics.
And joining us now is Corley Chun-Matayoshi from What's the Law? Thank you for being with us. Appreciate it.
Great being here.
You're talking about a couple of different things and very big topics. The first is hate crimes. Let's start with the recent violent attacks on Asians. What can you tell us about that?
Right. So unfortunately, hate crimes have been around for a very long time. Think of all the lynching that took place in the South 100 years ago. Hate crime laws impose tougher penalties on criminals who target their victims because of their race, religion, national origin, gender, sexual orientation, or disability. And that's because hate crimes instill fear in the broader community and can lead to tension and violence. So today, 47 states have hate crimes, including Hawaii, and 3 do not.
You know, we're going to dive into some of the logistics behind a case like this. What does the prosecutor have to prove in order to convict someone of a hate crime?
So a prosecutor has to prove that the crime was motivated by a category of hate, like race or religion. And then the defendant, it's hard to prove their intent, though, unless it's an outward thing, like they're affiliated with a hate crime organization, or they were witnessed using slurs before committing a crime. Like, you know, in New York, remember when that guy spewed "You don't belong here" to a Filipino woman before he brutally attacked her. In the Atlantic spa shootings, where Robert Aaron Long was charged with 8 counts of murder, including 6 Asian women, proving the underlying murders is a little more obvious because there's witnesses, but proving that he targeted Asians and women, which is also a category of hate, will require investigators to really dig in and search his social media, the websites he frequents, emails, texts, interviewing friends and neighbors. And intent is a little harder to prove, right? So it's more time consuming and more difficult.
Okay, let's just say that the proof is there. What happens if someone is actually convicted of a hate crime?
So the prosecutor has to prove the underlying crime, like the murder, and then separately they have to prove that the victim was targeted because of race or gender or another hate category. And then the penalty will be enhanced, which could almost double.
Okay, the second topic that we're going to talk about today is the global climate crisis. April 22nd is Earth Day, an opportune time to talk about the climate crisis and how it is affecting Hawaii and the world. Could you help us out with that?
So the situation is dire, and President Biden has invited 40 world leaders to a climate crisis on Earth Day, which is Thursday. A recent UN report warned that our children and their children will inherit a world of extreme weather events, sea level rise, a drastic loss of plants and animals, food and water insecurity, and increasing likelihood of a future pandemic. That's horrible. So I spoke to Senator Brian Schatz, and he feels that we need to act boldly and lead by example. We just joined the Paris Agreement, rejoined it, and President Biden's $2 trillion infrastructure proposal would help lower greenhouse gas emissions and create green jobs. President Biden wants to transition all of the federal vehicles like postal trucks to electric. And we're starting to see that here with Honolulu electrifying their bus fleet. Advocates say that climate change is actually good for our economy, for our health, our safety and security, and good for jobs.
As an island state, it may affect us a little more. How then has climate change actually affecting Hawaii, and what are we doing about it?
So as a CEO of the American Red Cross for 16 years, I experienced firsthand the dramatic increase in severe weather and the toll on our lives and economy. From hurricanes to tsunamis to dam bursts, I've seen it all. And we are the most isolated population on the face of the earth, so we're much more vulnerable to climate change. Hawaii was the first state, though, to commit to a goal of 100% renewable energy and 0 carbon emissions by 2045. EVs are less expensive than gas vehicles in the long run in terms of fuel and maintenance. And solar rooftops can not only augment big solar and wind farms, it's better to distribute the energy a little into the community.
I mentioned a moment ago about us being an island state, and we are surrounded by water. So
yes.
The next one I want to ask you, as you might imagine, is sea level rising. how much do we have to worry about that? Because there's a lot of different opinions and theories about how bad that's going to be for us.
Sea level rise is the #1 hazard on Hawaii's climate risk assessment in terms of likelihood and consequence, because it could cause permanent and intermittent flooding like king tides, loss of beach and coastlines. 40% of Oahu's beaches could disappear over the next 30 years. And we could spend billions of dollars to elevate and relocate roadways and buildings. There are thorny issues that we really need to resolve for the next generation.
2 huge topics and just 2 of many topics on KHON2.com, where you can find Coralie Chun Matayoshi, the host of What's the Law and all of her vlogs. Thank you so much for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thanks, John.
We'll talk again soon.
Great.
Couple of hot topics, and she's got a ton on our website. Super informative, and I guarantee you there's something there for everybody. She can help.
That's true. She did a lot recently about COVID and vaccines and tests and things like that. So a lot of really timely topics. So check it out on our website, KHON2.com.